All right. Welcome back for an author talk short with me, Amy, Russell, Fern, and Vivian is our lovely guest for this author talk short. And you guys know we're talking all things romance. Lovapalooza is coming. Vivian is going to be one of the speakers at this event. So, Vivian, tell us, what kind of romance books do you write?
So the way I describe myself is I write romance on the dark side. So I'm not definitely as pitch black as some people are. Okay, so I'm actually in a Facebook group of dark authors. So I'm not the type that will cut someone's leg off and then fuck them with the foot. Like that's not me.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
that's a little much.
not that dark. But I do have debcon at a minimum in all of my books. So if blackmail's your thing, if alpha holes are your thing, my guys are alpha holes. 100%.
This is the second time I've heard that term, alpha holes, and I love that term. Like, where has this been all my life? Like, at first I thought it was just like, I don't know. I thought it was just like a nice way, instead of calling them like a-holes, but now it's like alpha holes, and I can understand yes, I'm sorry. I just have a thing about that word, and I really like that word, and it's the second time that I've heard it. I'm just like, this word is meant for Amy. I love this word.
Well, and that's the thing, because it's actually funny you said that. I'm having a discussion with a couple author friends right now because I have a book I'm working on. It's in a shared world. And because of how the world is done, 100% consent. And I don't write 100% consent, you know. And so I was like, okay, so how can I make my guy an alpha if he's not going to just take it? And they're like, okay, he could still be alpha. He just may not be alpha whole. So yeah,
Okay.
there's been some learning curves on that term.
Hey, I've been learning this whole on all of the author talk shorts so far that we've done in the romance realm. I have learned a lot. A
I want
lot.
to know. I want to know, Amy. The next time you're in a fight with, you know who, if Josh gets called an alpha hole, that's what I want to know.
His nickname is not a very nice nickname, okay? So I'm just gonna say that's just, oh my goodness.
Well, I just want to know, like, for Vivian, like, what made you go in that direction? As an author, you make a lot of decisions about where your book is going, but also sometimes your book just makes decisions for you. And so I just kind of want to know, like, how did you find this path? Like, what was the roadway that led here?
So I honestly don't know if I can answer that in a way that's satisfactory because I don't tell the stories. The stories are told through me. I'm definitely the type that I write up the incident report of what everybody,
Mhm.
It even gets to the point that my husband can tell what type of character I'm writing because of how I'm acting. Because it's almost like I embody the character. It's weird. It is the most bizarre thing. Like he'll say something to me and I'll fire back in character. And then I'm like, sorry, sorry. Like when I was working on Bastard's Bride, Luke has so much anger, like rightfully so. He was, physically, sexually, mentally abused since the age of 10, had been in foster homes before that. So like he has a lot of pent up stuff. And so the entire time until he got through some of that anger, I was like a rage ball. And I felt so bad because I'm like, I promise I'm not angry. It's not me. I don't mean for it to be me. But it's he he's a great man and he goes with the flow. And so usually if I say something, he's like, he'll tell that character to shut up. And I'm like, thank you. Yes.
So as you're exploring these topics, because like as you were saying, this character that had this really, abuse past, as you're exploring these topics, do you find that you're able to kind of get a sense of, how to help people that have these issues? And, do you feel like your books kind of are a way for readers, besides the romance part and all that good stuff, but like they're a way for readers to kind of get to understand some of the nuances of the human condition that may have come from flawed childhoods and flawed situations.
So I do tell everyone, like people who know me, they know that there's always a bit of me in my work. So you might notice similar traits in different like heroines because it's my way of kind of purging my own past through this. The other thing is I'm a massage therapist on top of everything. So I'm already a very intuitive person. my husband and I, we joke around that like if I didn't have such a strong empathy drive, I would be an amazing psychiatrist, because something in my brain goes to the heart of the matter all the time. Like, so no matter what issue anyone is having, it's like something in me goes, okay, that's what's wrong. That's what needs to be to get fixed. Things like that. So I would like to think through these books, I can help somebody. I just, my characters are very emotion driven. So yes, there is sexy time. Yes, there is that sort of thing. But I don't agree when Amazon puts me in erotica, because there's way more to it than just the acts. Like, these characters go through emotions, and I show everything they're feeling, what they're thinking. I think the one for me that really stood out in that way was Psychiatrist Puppet, because she would have panic attacks, and I don't have panic attacks to the same extent she did. But having the psychiatrist there, you know, safe, secure, owned, you know, going through things with her, working with her, you know, it just, and most people say that that's one of their favorite books of mine, just because it does go so deep into it. And I even have other people who have told me that they now have their significant other repeat those words to them whenever they're spiraling. And it just, it makes you feel some kind of way, you know, knowing that I am actually helping impact people's lives.
Yeah, and I think that's a really powerful thing that you're bringing, because, you know, oftentimes when we talk about romance as a genre, people kind of look down on it. They think it's very fluffy. They think it's, you know, just like these unrealistic relationships and stuff. And they don't honor what the romance genre really brings to women who are the primary readers, you know, and to the literary discussion of relationships. How are, you know, we talked about the alpha hole, you know, talking about these relationships, you know, what are some of the things that, like, as you are drafting a new book, what are some of the things that you are looking for in terms of what you explore through your characters?
Again, it kind of is dictated on what the characters want to say. Um, a lot of times what I'll do is I'll have a basic outline of what I want, and I put it out there, and I'll even tell my characters, look, this is what we're doing. We need to stay on track this time. And
And then they go off the rails. Yeah. Yeah.
so like I sent my husband a message because he was asking how things are going. It's like, yeah, well, they just effing went off script again. And he sent like 4 gifts with, oh, shocker. And I'm like, you know, so there's several books
I
where I
just
feel
love
like
I love that you actually try to tell your characters what you're trying to I love that,
I
because,
try.
like, I've given up on that. Okay, I've just given up on that.
Well, see, because I feel like, because okay, so here's what happens to me, and this is why I'm trying. I keep telling myself, okay, we need to make this book 50,000 words, 65,000 words. Let's keep it around there. 100,000 words later, I'm like, are we kidding? Like, are you joking me right now? And what's hilarious is the first time, okay, so when I first started writing, I had only had one short story published. And that story alone felt like it took a lot of work just to get that story. And so the first time I was told, hey, you know, write a full length story for us, I'm just like, am I actually going to be able to meet that 50K deadline? Because I've never done it before. And not only do I keep meeting the 50K, I keep well exceeding it. And there's something to be said about like these groups that talk about marketing and like how to make the most money and all that stuff. And they keep talking about how if you can consistently keep your word count at a certain word count, you can produce more books, which means more money. But to me, it's like, okay, but how though? Because the stories that these characters want to tell aren't wrapped up in 65,000 words. I've tried, you know, the romancing the beats. I've tried that. I've tried plotter. I've tried so many things, but once the characters are real in my head, that's it. The story is theirs. It's no longer mine.
Yeah, and I think the power of what you are drafting is so much more than just a romance. Then I think that's where you're struggling, is that you're not writing just a romance. You're really writing a really in-depth human situation with the backgrounds and the traumas and the issues that these characters are bringing to the page. So you're really doing more like a women's lit, you know, with sex in it.
Okay, I'll take that.
Basically. I think you're really doing that.
It gets a little frustrating though at times, because I have had feedback on some books where they're like, well, you could have just shortened this up, or you could have just done that. And part of me is like, but if I did, you would have missed nuance that makes things, because like, so for example, the book that I'm writing right now, it's a secret project, so I can't tell you the title, can't tell you who it's with. I can tell you though, it involves an orthopedic surgeon and a massage therapist. And since I'm a massage therapist, there's so much of myself, like I am having to rein back, because there's stuff that, readers don't care about. They don't care about the day-to-day life of massage therapists. Like I get that, but there's certain things that because there's such a stigmatism about massage therapy that I'm exploring in this book, like I have to make it 100% clear, this is her professional standards. What's happening is going against those standards, because there's stuff that people just, I remember when I got my license, my uncle even told me, so does that mean you're working the red light district? That was the first thing he said to me. Oh. And it's stuff like that. And it's things like having to teach people that it's massage therapist, not masseuse, like just little things that goes into it. Like, I wish I could just write a bare bones, here it is, but you miss so much growth and importance when you do that, at least for me.
Yeah.
I really think that Fern and you have, you're kind of sisters of the same soul. Because this is really something that Fern struggles with. But I don't know if she really struggles with it, if she just loves it. Because exactly what she's talking about. These characters take over, and you're developing these characters and their depth and the story. And sometimes Vivian can't do it in 55,000 words.
You really can't. And I think that there's a lot of value. And I don't, I've never seen, I'll say this. I have never seen a reader go into Barnes & Noble and pick up a book and go, oh, this is definitely more than 50,000 words. I ain't reading it. I've never seen a reader do that, right? These are things in the industry. And I think that readers appreciate well-crafted, in-depth stories that make them think, make them feel, and that, in the case of romance, also have the awesome deliciousness of the intimacy part of everything. Yes. So yeah.
And like for me, more so because all of my books have aspects of either BDSM, kink, or fetish, I feel like more so I have to, because there's a fine line between abuse and dominance, in mainstream eyes. And so, yeah, exactly.
And you need to be able to honor the community of what it is. And, because too many times we see some of these portrayed very poorly, very superficially. And so in order to really honor the community, you really have to go more in depth into what is it that it is and what it means for that person, for the people who enjoy it, Yeah, absolutely.
So what are you speaking at Lovapalooza about?
So fun fact, it's actually going to be about BDSM. So it's called Love Hurts, Pain and Pleasure in BDSM Romance. And
that is an amazing title. Like, oh my gosh, I love y'all, romance authors in general are the most creative people, from Alpha Holes to Love Hurts. Oh my gosh. I mean, I'm here for it. I'm totally here for it 100%. Okay, I love the title. I'm sorry, continue.
No, so what I'm going to do, I'm doing something a little different. It's not going to be, it's more like a show and tell. And the reason I'm doing this is because I am in the lifestyle. I have a lot of tools of the trade. I have a lot of things that I play with and that I enjoy. I've had so many authors who either it's their hard limits, or they don't want to do this, or they can't do this. And they ask me, hey, how does this feel? Hey, how does this sound? What does this do? And so I feel like for people who just don't want to physically explore certain things, this is a good way to show them, okay, this is what it looks like. This is how you use it. This is how you use it safely. This is what it feels like. It's going to be hard getting all that down into, 50 to 55 minutes, but I'm going to do my best. And I'm going to have like a handout with, images and like little notes and stuff. It's something I'm passionate about and I want to share it.
Nice. No, I think that is great. Man, I'm telling you, between everybody else that we have met that is doing Love-A-Palooza, I'm going to learn a lot about the genre that I know so little about. Absolutely know very little about the romance genre.
And you know what, Amy? It is a genre that is very empowering to women, no matter how much the mainstream peoples might like to belittle the genre. It is a very female empowering genre.
I am becoming aware of that. I'm telling you, I am set. I'm going to learn a whole lot at Love-A-Palooza, which is June 17th through the 26th. So make sure that you come and check it out. Come and hear Vivian talk about The Love Hurts, which that is just, that's an awesome title. Learn
And
more
it's just a general
what is it? Alpha holes. Like, I am excited to learn more about this word. Like, I'm very excited, and I'm going to try to use it whenever I can. But you guys, this has been an Author Talk short. Oh, now words are hard. Everything is just an alpha hole at the moment. But
well, hey, when it comes to romance, everything's hard.
Nothing happens without
perfect. Oh my gosh, this has been an Author Talk.
I totally agree with that.
Oh my gosh. Okay, this is an Author Talk short, you guys. I promise we're gonna end it somewhere in this whole thing. But until next time, you guys, we'll see you all for next Author Talk short. Bye.